So yesterday evening I came out on my blueberry field here and I was gonna look for armadillos. I've got them making tunnels all underneath my plants, all out through there. So I'm walking up through here, through this path, and I get to right here and I see the ground disturbed in here, and I'm thinking armadillo at the first, and I was like, I don't know about that. It looks more pig related. So I walk over this way where the sand is, and I start seeing pig tracks. Right here's kind of dug up, and it gets worse as we get up on the hill. And right there's a raccoon that didn't make it. They like to eat chickens and crawl up in my berries and tear the plants down, eating blueberries too. So anytime I can take out a raccoon, I do it. So I'm not sure if you can tell, but this is all dug up down through here all the way to the far end of this row of plants. And all these right here, there's rooting all in here, especially on the far side and down that way. And I got to about right back over here. I was probably about 70, 80 yards. They popped out right in here. And all I had with me was my little 22 right there. But I shot at the biggest sow in the group. There was a bunch of little ones and a big sow. So I'm gonna walk over here. I didn't even come up in here and look around because it was getting dark. Well, I have been all over my place looking for that pig, and I have no idea where it's at. It was down right over there when I left, and it was hurting bad, but it shook it off and got up and took off out of here, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull my card out of my camera here, see what's been coming in here. I think I'm about out of corn probably. I don't see any on the ground. I don't know if y'all can see, but there's been pigs. Pigs got the ground all rooted up around in here. The corn is gone. Camera has been messed with. Something been fondling it. Look at the mud that's all over that thing. Someone was looking at it close, wasn't it? So I don't know if I'm gonna hunt them out of my little box blind right there, or if I need to set the trap. I know if I hunt them, I have to trim these limbs right here and these off of here, just so that I can shoot down through there. I got a crossbow I've never used. That'd be kind of fun to try to shoot pigs with. I traded a guy some golf clubs for it that I never used, and now I don't use the crossbow. We'll see what's on this card right here, I guess. We're on the other side of the farm now, on the other side of the blueberry farm, and this, you can tell they've been all in here. You can see where they just rooted up. They rooted all this all down through here and down that way. I saw 4 on the neighbor's place a couple days ago, and I thought, well, you know, that's about it. And maybe they went that way, and I thought, well, they just go around that creek and maybe cross over and go to the highway. But there was about 15 in the group that I shot at, and man, I just cannot understand how that one got up and got out of here. They're tougher than you think, that's for sure. And here's a spot that they typically come through the fence right here. They go up, they push up underneath it and go out across. They come from that bottom over there, headed this way. And I caught one right here on a snare last year. There was a tree here, and neighbor cut it down. He's putting in another fence. But anyway, I got a video about that to show my favorite recipe, how to cook them too. So you might check it out. Yep, that's the group I saw right there. I guess it's time to dig the trap out of the woods. Well, I found my hog trap. I gotta get that thing out of here somehow and get it set up on my blueberries up there, or get it somewhere where I can actually track it, because you've seen how tough it was to get down in here. And this is my normal road right here, but it's so grown up, I've got to go up through here and see if I can't make a trail to get out of here. It's gonna be tough. basically this thing has a trap door that's hooked up with a spring that wraps around this outside right here. It's got a tripwire that I gotta put in here on the inside. Goes across from one side to the other. So we gotta get a new one put across here and then figure out how tight we need to get it. Get all these other old ones off here. This lever latch goes up like this, and that door latches in there, and it holds it. When they get around in there pushing around that wire, they release it. And that's how it gets set. This spring closes the door. Little lever right here goes down, runs down the side right here to that wire. I got a tripwire going across the bottom. Put a lot of corn in there. When they get to pushing around, they hit that wire and it closes. And then it'll actually let some push in if they really want to get in there. Well, now that that's set, I'm gonna go ahead and put some corn in the feeder, and if we get them on camera coming in there, we'll get in there with the bow and see if we can't kill us a couple of them. Pigs had their faces all on this camera, looking in it. Now that's set up, I'm gonna trim a few limbs. There's a blind I'll be sitting in right there. I need to trim a few of these limbs off these trees right in here so that I can get a good shot with an arrow down through there. It's about, I got that thing set at 28 yards from the bottom of here to there. Now we wait. Okay, we let the pig trap soak overnight, so now we're gonna check it and see what we got. What the heck is this? Where did you come from? Looks like a female. I wonder, is she trying to lay some eggs in there? She's doing something in there. She's got some holes dug out, look. Where you going, girl? I don't know. You no telling what you're gonna see around here. Pigs, we gotta go check the pigs. The blackberries are on this end are kind of puny. Down in the middle down there, they're doing better. I don't know if it's because this right here holds more water in this area or what, but this 2 rows right here on this bottom side, they didn't do very well. But there's a lot of good looking blackberries in here. I tell you, it's not been a good year for blueberries in Texas. Not only did a lot of us lose fruit during the freeze on March the 17th, I've got what berries I did have left, I've got like a cranberry fruit worm or something, and they're eating them up. They're all sewn together right here. Look at that. Ruined the whole cluster. And they're ruining thousands of berries down through here. And I've tried and tried not to spray anything for the whole time I've been doing this. I've been farming berries, or I've been farming blueberries about 20 years. And I try not to spray any chemicals on them. I'm not certified organic or anything like that, but I try to use organic practices as best I can. And this is what's happening. Something else I just seen right here. Look, there's something's wrapped up. Another worm has got in there and wrapped this leaf up, and it looks like some berries in there as well. That's part of farming. We got a lot of empty plants out here. They're growing nice. They're putting on plenty of growth for next year, but that's the bad thing about blueberries is you get one chance to make it work a year. And if it doesn't, you better have a backup plan. And I don't. Looks like we got some. We did. Look at there. I don't know if you can see them or not. Two of them. They're mad. Not very chargy. They usually charge at you. And they're ready, on alert, just in case. They may act like they're being friendly, but you don't want to stick your hand in there, that's for sure. I didn't get the whole group, but one thing about it is I'm just trying to get them from eating my blueberries and tearing my patch up. They got into my garden the other day. They've been tearing all up around the farm. And my deal is just to try to deter them from doing that. I love hunting them and I love eating them. So if I can get rid of a couple like this, the rest of them will leave for a while. So we'll get these out of here. We'll reset the trap, and then they may come back, they may not. We're gonna get rid of these two real quick. Y'all turn your head. You ain't gonna believe this. Both of them pushed up right against the dang door. That gate pushes in that way, and both of them are right there leaned up against it where I can't push the door in very easy. Dadgummit. Not only do they tear my berries up, they make it hard to get them out of the trap. That was 2 sows that we caught. And I'm gonna tell you, if you ain't ever eat some sow wild hogs, you're missing out on some of the best organic pork meat there is. Don't let anybody tell you any different. I'm gonna get this trap set back, and then we'll see if we can't catch some more. Oh, corn feeder just went off. We need to be hunting for them too. Stands right there.